Good morning. Are the floors done? Did your house get finished?
Hey,
Hey,
we're in a different house. We rented a house somewhat close to home. The floors are done. They're curing right now. They look good. But when we demoed the kitchen, Ed decided he did not like the look of the electric because it's 70 years old and people have added on to it in very creepy ways. So yeah, we might not be living at home for a while. So
oh wow.
yeah,
So, like we're gonna do this over Christmas break turned into maybe we'll live here for a few months.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I mean, it's luckily Stephen Humphreys that goes to Travis County Strength.
Yeah.
He had a house open for rent. So yeah, we moved a few essential items in and we're here and yeah, he's gonna let us do month to month and we can have the dogs. So I'm like, okay, cool.
Demoing is such an adventure, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
You never know what you're gonna find.
Come on, AirPlay.
I don't remember which one is AirPlay. That's what
Okay,
I'm having
you
the
don't have
problem
it
with.
set up. You gotta go here.
It used to be.
Well, it's not.
Sorry.
That's okay.
And then displays.
Are you guys on carpet or is that a floor? Oh.
Oops. On what?
Are you guys on carpet or is that a hard floor? Nope. Is that me or them? Okay. They pause, not me. That's good. You're back. You're muted. I can't hear you, but it's fine.
There we go.
One of those, like, I think her lips are moving, but I'm not 100%. All right. Well, it looks like everybody else dropped. We had like 4 or 5 people signed up, and now it's just you two.
Oh,
Unfortunately, well, fortunately, y'all are here. But I was like, oh, we have like a nice group. But I think the weather's everyone's like, no, I'm sleeping.
I was gonna say they had to just be at home. I mean, it's not that hard.
That's so much easier, right? So much easier. Who knows? It's all good. It's all good. Do y'all have any requests?
You?
My shins were like kind of tightening up with the front squats
Okay.
last Monday. But I still kind of have this persistent elbow shoulder thing as well. So
Yeah.
I am open to any and everything.
Shins or shoulders, one or the other. How about you, Deborah?
I'm good with whatever.
You're good with whatever? Okay. All right. Well, we can mix it up and combine them. Let me pin my video. You guys have wall space, so let's do a little bit of pec work.
Okay.
Everybody's favorite. I can feel the excitement in the room over there. Let's do some pec work, and then we'll come down and roll our shins as well, and kind of mix it up a bit. So for the pecs, I suggest wall space. You can technically do it on the ground, but just more control if you're standing in a wall. Do you guys have blocks?
I remember seeing a couple.
If you don't have blocks, you can just take the ball against the wall. If you have a block, taking the block and putting it against the wall, and then the ball just gives your face some room so that you're not like claustrophobic against the wall. Alternatively, if you have like an edge of a wall, you can set yourself in the edge so that your head is clear anyways. So make it work. But for both of you, I would start by locating your collarbone, and where your collarbone and your sternum, your breastbone come together, putting the ball right in that spot where the breastbone and the collarbone meet, and then setting yourself up either at a wall or on the ground or at a corner. Make it work for you. With the ball in this spot, I would just take a few deep breaths. So giving yourself a chance to really expand into the rib cage, allowing this area to expand with each inhale and exhale. Noticing if this spot is a little sore at all. Does it already feel a little cranky, a little grumpy in that area, or is it relatively mild today? It's a little different for everyone. After you take in a few breaths in there, begin to roll the ball, underlining the collarbone. So going left to right, right to left, underlining the collarbone area, working all the way out to the head of the shoulder and then all the way back. As you're going side to side, if you run into any spots that feel sticky or cranky, stop on them. I like to reach in and give the ball a twist. So when I find those angry spots, twisting the ball left to right kind of adds a different pull. That feels oh so good. I would be cautious of any tingliness you might be getting into your hands. Make sure you're staying off of any spot that makes your hands go tingly or numb if you are having that problem. Otherwise, ignore that and just keep doing what you're doing. right, and we are gonna make stripes across our chest here. So we'll come dock in the shoulder in a moment, but we're gonna start by next time you come back to the collarbone, go about 1 inch to 1/2 inch down and roll your way across. For both of you, you wanna stay above the breast tissue, so the fatty area of the breast, but work the pec up above that. So for us females, it's going to be less area. Males, you'll be able to cover a bit more, but stay out of the breast tissue area. Kind of following along the inside of the rib, so those intercostal muscles that run between your rib bones, staying kind of along those, working your way down. I like to take a couple stripes across and then kind of lock in. Once again, do a little twisting of the ball when I run into those sticky areas. As you are rolling along here, keep the breath into the rib cage. Allow the rib cage to expand and contract with each inhale and exhale. Keeping that internal movement going as well. All right, let's take some time and take it back up to the collarbone and go over to that kind of pec minor area. So that bra overhang kind of area just inside of the armpit, docking the ball in. This is typically the spot you go to if you have that ball on a stick at the gym, where most people place it right in that pec minor area, just inside of the head of the shoulder. Dock the ball in there. And keep in mind, as you're getting into this area, it's a deeper muscle. So you're looking to go beneath the pec major. So working your way underneath and around that pec major, sending your brain deeper than that superficial layer so that you can kind of sense where that pec minor lives. And then once you have the ball in a pretty good spot where you're like, that's a little tender, I'm sure we'll all find one. Create a little up and down kind of scrub. So bend the knee and straighten the knee just a little bit. This is not a huge muscle, but it does cover just a couple of inches. So a little up and down kind of scrub, coaxing some release into that muscle. Once again, being mindful that you're not making your fingers go numb. If you are, move to a slightly different spot so you're not rolling on the nerves themselves. Just another breath here. And then we will let that go. We'll move to the other side, but if you want to do a check-in, because I forgot to do it at the beginning, you can always come into some arm flexion, and you'll probably notice a big difference from left to right. If that's something that you like to see, just the flexion of the arms overhead. I rolled my left, and it is much more mobile than my right now. Yeah. If you like that kind of feedback. Otherwise, we'll move on to the other side, coming into that sternoclavicular joint. So right where the collarbone and the breastbone come together, place the ball there, set yourself up at the wall. Same thing, round two. Docking the ball in. And breathing into this area for a moment. Taking a moment just to let the ball sit in at this joint, noticing if this joint is a bit tender. I like to do tiny little scrubs side to side at this joint just to loosen up any restrictions. And then when you feel ready, working your way across the collarbone, all the way from that sternoclavicular joint, all the way out to the head of the arm bone, and then all the way back in, working your way under your collarbone. As you're going across, if you find some sticky spots, reach in, give the ball a little twist, creating a little bit of shear. When you feel ready and wanting to move on, you can begin to take the ball down about an inch, covering, once again, the full surface of the pec, working from the sternum all the way out to the edge of the armpit. Once again, just move small little inch to half inch down, aiming for that area between the ribs, getting into the intercostals as well as the pec. As I'm doing this, I always like to notice where I'm most sore. Am I running into soreness more at the sternum region where that muscle hits, connects with the bone, or more in the meat of the muscle? So notice that for yourselves, where you are most sore or most tender. Not really to judge it, but just so you know where to go to get the most relief and release when you come back to this. Just a reminder to keep yourself breathing as well. Rib cage moving as you're rolling. When you feel ready, we'll take ourselves over to that pec minor area. So coming over to the bra overhang, setting yourself up just inside of the armpit and that little crevice, leaning into it. Once you find the spot, you can create a little up and down, little chug, kind of scrubbing the ball, the length of that little muscle, just a little up and down. Taking just another breath or two. And then we'll let that go, coming back. If you want to test that range of motion, again, you can take the arms overhead, see if you've evened out a bit, hopefully. Let's do just a couple activations before we go roll the shins, just for good measure. So activating the back side of the arm. Put your hands in front of you as if you're holding pizzas. I don't have a rubber band. If you have a rubber band, you're welcome to grab it. But we're going to do some, I'm going to do some activation without a band. But if you have a band, go for it. Travis calls them no monies. also known as hitchhiking pizzas. It's as if you're holding pizzas and you're opening them out. The goal is to activate this whole backside of the shoulder. So that rotator cuff activation. As your arms come in, it'll relax. As your arms go out, that backside of the shoulder turns on. Be careful that you're not thrusting the rib cage to make it happen. Keep the rib cage hugged in. Just the back of the shoulder turns up. With or without the band, next time you come out, hold the activation. So really kind of maintain that activation, maintain the rib cage down, and then begin to open the arms up as if you're offering your pizzas out to people next to you. Only open so much that you can still maintain and feel the contraction of that rotator cuff. I can go about to there before I start to lose it. And then you'll begin to peel and pull back inwards. You don't need a band to make this difficult. You can totally make it work all by yourself. And then slowly coming back through center and then letting that go, shaking that off. All right, let's do one more just for good measure, and then we'll move down to the shins. Lift that up just a little bit. If you have a strap or belt or something, it's good for this. Otherwise, once again, you don't necessarily need anything to make this work, but we're just activating the backside of our arms to try and let the pecs relax a little bit. So if you have a strap or a band, excellent, grab it, rip it in two, twist the pinky side of your hand forward. So once again, you're coming into that external rotation. That rotator cuff should begin to turn on. Now, as I pull down, the strap's gonna come behind my head. But before I pull down, we've done this multiple times in the past, you're gonna attach like a 100-pound weight to this in your hand, and then you're gonna actively pull that weight downward. And maybe you need to attach like a 200-pound weight to it. But either way, you're pulling down with all your might, all the way down. Shaking is completely normal. And then you will push that weight all the way back up. Watch for the rib cage flare. It's not the end of the world, but see if you can maintain that braced core as your arms lift back overhead. Maybe go one more time. Keep those pinkies facing forward. Deborah's like, damn it, I thought we were done. And then pull down slowly. Make sure you're breathing, controlling the core, and then pressing on the way back up. Rib cage down, breathe. Nice and braced, feeling the backside of your shoulder, hopefully nice and engaged. And then we'll let that go. All right. Let's roll the shins real quick, and then we'll come back and do more activations. But just so we don't lose all that goodness we got in our arms. Multiple ways to roll the shins. You guys have the bigger balls. So I think, did y'all bring the bigger balls with you, or are y'all using lacrosse balls?
Yeah, no, I've got the ones you gave
The
us.
tune-up.
Okay, fantastic. Then use the bigger ones because they'll give you more. You don't necessarily need the blocks if you have the bigger ones. Anybody watching this later, if you have smaller ones, use blocks. It's just better. Gives you more clearance. Blocks are available with the bigger ones if you want to clear your foot, but it just makes it a little easier. What you're going to do is essentially set yourself up so that the balls are hugging that shin bone. One on either side, one rolling up and down the shin, one rolling along this meat of that tib anterior. Setting yourself up, and then you'll roll all the way down to the top of the foot, and then all the way back to the top of the knee. The toe on these is pretty torn up. This is an older pair of balls. Working your way down and back up. If you're a glutton for punishment, like I am, what you can do is stack yourself up so one leg crosses over the other, and then you roll down, and then you roll back up. It's not for the faint of heart. It is rather intense, but it's available if it's something you'd like to do. Warming up the muscles of the shin. Once you go up and down a couple times and start to feel like, okay, this isn't so bad, what we're gonna do is you're gonna take yourself to a rather sticky spot. So I can go about 1/3 of the way down, and that shin feels a little cranky there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to lean off to the side. So I'm on my right leg. I'm gonna lean off to the right, and then I'm gonna twist left to right into that angry spot. So juicing out that muscle. Feels oh so terribly good. And kind of work your way up and down your calf this way. So, or your shin, pardon me. Working your way back up, working your way back down, covering the length of that tib anterior. You're welcome to keep the legs stacked the entire time. You're welcome to come on and off of the leg stack. Make it work for you so that you're getting something nice out of it. One place where the blocks do come in handy, if you found the spot that is rather cranky and you're like, oh yeah, this is the spot that needs the love, you can set yourself up on blocks, and this is going to give the foot some clearance, and then you can point and flex the toes, maybe do some ankle circles, and that will kind of give a little bit of relief and release to the foot and the calf. But make it work for you. We'll give that just another breath or two to work into that.
You get to hear Ed today.
That sounded like, oh my God, that's a spot. Like, I know in the at home, we've been doing a ton of running because running's easy. So rolling the shins is really kind of a necessity with all the running.
Yeah, mine just tightened up when we did those front squats.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They're already tight and they just got tighter.
That is definitely a thing with front squats. All right, when you're ready, because this is always fun to do, put your feet out in front of you and then dorsiflex your feet. And I don't know if you can actually see it on the video, but the side I rolled, I have a ton more dorsiflexion on that side now. So my dorsiflexion is not necessarily limited by my calf. Sometimes it's limited by the tightness in my tib anterior, because if a muscle can't relax, it also can't contract well. So keeping that in mind, if you have ankle issues or tightness in your calves, so because your dorsiflexion doesn't look good, maybe it's the front of the shin, not necessarily the back, that's more causing the problem. So just something to think about. That's always fun to see and very apparent on the shins. Okay, switching to the other side, same thing around two. Setting yourself up. I know when I roll this side, it hurts more than the other side, so I'm being a little more cautious and not stacking my legs right away. But once you've gone up and down it a few times, if you did it on the other side and you're feeling upward on this side, you can come into that stack and stack the legs to add more tension. It's optional. Once you've got a sense of where your tension patterns are, so in other words, you found a spot that hurts, set yourself up on that spot, lean off and over onto it. So I'm on my left side, so I'm leaning towards the left, so the ball's really digging into that muscle. And then I'm going to twist my leg side to side, creating a little spin. on that tight spot, seeing if it will help it relax a little bit. And this side's intense for me. It's making me sweat. That's great. I will also point out that the slower you move the ball down the shin, the deeper that's going to go. So if you want to kind of regulate what you're feeling, you can go a little faster and it'll make it less intense. Or go a little slower and really let that ball dig in. You'll get all the feels from it. If you would like to add in the footwork, you can always stack a block if it's not already there. Stack on top of the block and move the foot, especially if moving the ball becomes an issue. If it hurts too much to move the ball, you can move the foot instead. It's a nice distraction, makes it less pain. It is snowing outside now. I was wondering I was wondering why my kids were screaming, and I look up and it's definitely snowing out there.
Aww.
Big flakes for Austin too. That's pretty. Those are pretty large.
Nice.
Pretty good.
It's not Colorado snow.
Oh God, no. You can tell by the way it's falling that it's kind of a slushy, icy kind of. It's much too quickly to be pure snow. That's for sure.
Ice water.
Yes, yeah. Ice water that in Texas we'll call snow. But that's, if you're hearing the background noise, that's what it is. They're just really.
I hear them.
I heard something, but it wasn't that.
It wasn't that. Okay, that's good. The doors are opening and closing and the kids are giggling rather loudly. Okay, let's let that go. Coming off of that and recheck. So I've evened out a little bit. My left is still a little bit less, but it always is. And set that up. Give yourself another check on that. All right. Once you're done, let's come up to a stand. Taking a foot in front of you. I'm going to do my left because my left is always tighter than my right. But coming into some full ankle circles. And as you're doing these, notice how much your toes want to get involved. Do your toes want to pull and push the foot around? If so, can you let the toe relax and let the ankles move on its own without the toes help, or with less toe help maybe? Circle one way, circle the other way. And then we'll switch to the other foot. Same thing, round two. Circle the foot, and once the foot starts circling, notice how much the toes are involved. And can you make?
I never realized.
Can you make the toes do less? And it's okay if the answer is no. Like today, my toes are doing the work for me. I cannot make them stop, but I can try.
Can you stand on one leg?
That's also.
Most people can't.
Some people can't. I know it's snowing. I see that. Thank you. They stuck a note under my door. It's snowing. You can always hold on to a wall if you can't stand on one foot. Okay. Let that go. We're going to try our little Elvis movement here. That's foot and knee and ankle, all of the above. So we're going to start just by dipping that knee inward, coming into that valgus position. Now, as I do this, the heel of my foot is off the ground just a little bit, but the ball of my foot is going to stay on the ground. So you can kind of see my heel hovering but the ball of my foot is planted. And what I'm attempting to do as I go side to side is keep my weight evenly planted through the ball of the foot and the pinky of the foot. So as I go side to side, my weight is equally distributed across the forefoot.
Okay.
It's an attempt. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm attempting to let that happen. Now, I can do this with my whole body involved, or I can stop the rest of my body and just let my leg do the work. Both are optional and available, and I suggest trying both of them. This is a power movement. As a human, if you think about swinging a bat or throwing a ball, this is where the power, or swinging a sledgehammer, this is where your power comes from. But can you separate that and make it just the leg and then add the body into it? Once you've done it on one side, switch to the other. Now it's my stupid leg's turn. Stupid legs, they're a great leg, but it's a little less smart. So I can feel on this side, as I come into that valgus, the pinky side of my toe really, really wants to pull in because I don't have as much internal rotation on this side. So I'm gonna lessen that just a little bit, make it go a little slower so that I can really feel that my weight is equally distributed and start working on that internal rotation of that hip while my foot is fully involved with the ground. And then once you've got the hang of it, maybe the whole body works. Maybe you isolate, doing the opposite of whatever you were doing before. But as you do this, you should feel your ankles. Like your ankles should feel that it's getting a bit tired. My foot is also getting tired, but you should begin to feel that ankle working. And when you're done, you're done. You can shake it off. And then let's take it into just some heel hops. So a little bouncy, forefoot fully on the ground. Can you find some little bounces? Letting your shoulders just relax. Once again, you'll feel your calf, you'll feel your ankle. And if you keep 2x4s around your house, this is great to do on a 2x4. Works the ankle in kind of 360 degrees if you're on a 2x4, but we're gonna do it here. So feel that lightness in the ball of the foot, not lightness in the ankle. And now what you're gonna do is, keeping this weight on the forefoot, you're gonna take just some steps sideways, as if you're balancing on a 2x4, a balance beam. Maybe there's a line on the ground you can follow, but I'm up on my toes and I'm keeping myself really, really light and working the ball of my foot as I walk to the side and then walk back the other way. It's a tiny little step. You what?
Bouncing while we're doing that?
I didn't understand that.
You want us to like bounce while going laterally, or just?
There will be a little natural bounce. The bounce is just to get you into your toes.
Okay.
Like if I'm bouncing, I'm in my toes. Once I start moving, I can take that bounce out of it.
Okay.
But the bouncing is just to get you, oh, that's where my toes are.
Got it.
Because we don't have 2x4s just available, or at least I don't up here in this room. I highly suggest a 2x4. It's a great tool for ankles and calves, etc. So side to side, on the toes a couple times. And then once you have that, and now I'm just doing this on the flat ground, but I'm envisioning that I am balancing on something. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sink a little lower. So now I'm on the ball of my foot still. My knees are bent, so I'm low. And I'm attempting to transfer my weight from one foot, taking it out, and then coming over as if I'm slowly crab walking across a balance beam. So it's the same movement, I've just taken it lower and slower, and you should feel those ankles working, the inside and outside of the ankle engaging and working as you do so. It is a lot on the knee itself. So if your knee is yelling, I'm done, you know, be okay with that.
It's almost like my Achilles.
Yes, it is knee, it is ankle, your Achilles, it'll all begin to feel it, but hopefully also begin strengthening those lateral foot muscles. I've started doing this essentially every day on a 2x4 to help, because I've been having some like plantar fasciitis issue, and it's really helped it a lot. So I do suggest it with or without the 2x4, little side to side movements. Okay, let's find just a spot on the ground where you can just stand and pick up the outside of your feet. So you're coming into eversion. Should feel nice, like a stretch on the inside, and then roll to the outside of the feet, coming into inversion. So I'm rolling in, and then we're just gonna roll inside and outside, working those muscles on the inside and outside of the calf. After doing those side to side walks, it might tire relatively quickly. And if that's the case, be done with it, and that's okay. Don't overdo it, Ed. Basically what I'm saying.
This is good for ankle mobility.
This is, yeah, it's helping my ankle.
Sprain.
Yes, it is ankle mobility for sure. Okay, let's let that go. And we're gonna take it into a walk. So I'm standing on the inside of my foot. Gonna just walk on the inside of my foot. Walk forward, walk backwards. If you guys are on hard ground, don't hurt your foot doing it. If the ground is really hard, it can be really uncomfortable. When you're ready, switch to the outside of the foot and begin to walk forward and backwards on the outside of the foot.
That one's so much easier.
Easier?
Yeah.
All right. And when you're done, be done. And we're going to work on something. You guys are going to partner to do this. And I'm going to show you how to do it. So you're essentially going to stand on the outside of your feet. One of you is going to do the movement. The other person's going to hold. So like Ed, you'll hold Deborah's hands. Deborah, you'll hold Ed's hand. But essentially what you're going to do is holding on to something, each other on this case, you're going to bend down and come into a little butterfly squat.
I'm gonna let you do that.
And then press yourself back up. You're holding on to the other person so you don't hurt yourself and so that they can help you as much as you need it. But making the outside of the feet really, really work to hold you up. It's slow and it's as deep as you want it to be. But learning to load the outside of the foot.
My ankle says no.
That's okay. That's okay. That's all right. Something to work up to, though. It does help with not spraining your ankle again in the future, because you're teaching it to load in that essentially sprained position, so that eventually you can go down and come back up. All right. Let's do one more big one, the ankle mobility. Kind of kneeling, just to get a nice stretch here, because for me this is a good stretch. So coming into a kneeling position, We're gonna find ankle circles. So my foot's gonna stay flat on the ground, dropping in to valgus, coming out, and then back around. So making those big knee and ankle circles from the kneeling position, going one direction and then going the other direction. Foot stays flat on the ground the entire time. Hopefully at this point, it just kind of feels like a nice stretch. When you're ready, switching sides, going the opposite way. So when they add in ankle mobility as one of the like 5 ankle mobility on each side, I suggest doing this one.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I do.
It's a little more active and a little more, it gives your body more feedback than just rocking forward and backwards. As you get better at it, if you're especially doing this with your hands on your knee, where you're really holding yourself up, get to a spot where you can do it without having your hands involved, where your leg has to do the full work of the range of motion. Might not be there today, but working your way there eventually. All right, let's do one more, last one. Taking it through full range of motion, you're gonna come into a deep lunge. You're then gonna press down and load, coming all the way up into a foot raise, a heel raise, lowering that down, and then coming back. So full loaded range of motion, whatever that means for you. But try to work your way all the way up to the heel raise and then all the way back down to that eccentric position.
It's almost like a 90-90 pass-through thing.
90-90 step through,
Yeah,
almost.
but forward.
It should feel more intense, a little more intense maybe than that 90-90 step through, at least for me. Go for like 3 or 4 on each side. You don't necessarily need a ton. Just push them right over.
Dodgeball.
All right. Good job, guys. That's all we got for today.
Thank you.
Hopefully your feet and ankles feel nice and warm now.
That was very nice. Thank you. I like that routine.
No problem at all. Enjoy it. And as I was telling all the lift ladies, these are all in a library online. So you can, if you remember that it's there, if something comes up, go pick out what you need to do and work on it. I'm not sure, I haven't talked to Jen yet, so we're going to find out what we're doing with this class. Currently, it's just going to stay on Sundays until I can figure out a time to talk to her whenever she's available. But for now, it's staying here, and then we'll figure it out as we go. Enjoy the snow today. What little
Yeah, you do.
it's still exciting, so go enjoy it. Have a good one. Thanks for coming.
Appreciate it.
Bye.
Bye.